Hello, Blake Hart here. It's been a little while. Yeah, I just had one of those weeks. It's been really busy with work. Next week I'm traveling to California for the whole week, and yeah, it's just it's been tough. I have so many videos I want to make. Like I have a long list, and just haven't had the time. Yeah, but here I am. I'm pretty excited. I feel like my music making has taken a turn. I could attribute it to time, right? The more beats that you make, the better that you get, the better your ear hones in on the sonics, hones in on what is a, good sound choice for particular instruments, for a particular vibe. So possibly attributed to that, probably a lot that. And then, as you all know, like I was really motivated by the Timberland masterclass, and I think that had an impact. So I think it's lots of things. Yeah, just really excited. I did a beat yesterday. Well, it wasn't yesterday. It was like this week. It didn't just come together in one day. With a sample from Illmind's latest sample pack, Goat Loops, Goat something. And he was having like a contest, so I entered that. So you can check that out. I posted it on my Instagram, which is Blake Hart's. Bleh, can't talk this morning. Blake Hart Beats, and I just feel like like I'm getting somewhere. I'm finally, like, after a year of being able to invest the time that I've had, I feel like I'm really just getting into this new realm. So it's pretty exciting. So I wanted to put together a video about my beat making process, and this changes. It doesn't always happen the same exact way. Start different beats differently just to switch it up. I generally do tend to start with like a melody or the sample. I don't usually ever start with drums, but sometimes using Maschine. I've been using Maschine a lot lately. I tried to commit to at least Maschine for the past like few months. Or 2 months, or I don't know how long it's been. I don't know. I can't keep track of time. But I've been making my past few beats on Maschine, and I like it. And so there's basically two ways I start. I either just put my key into Maschine where I want to be, and then I start playing around with maybe some pads so I get my chords down, and then I'll do the melody on top of that. Or I use scalar and easy keys, and I think that's going to be of most interest to people, how I use that. So let's do that. So I'm going to bring up scalar. And if you don't have scalar, it's by Plugin Boutique. I will put the link below. I'm sure you've probably heard a lot about it. It's pretty cool. For me, it's just getting the ideas down. Like what do I want to put together? And here you can actually, they have chord progressions for different types of styles, which is really helpful if that's what you're looking for. I mean, particularly, for example, like the neo soul section has some really funky chords. You'll hear, so EDM, where they put, that's C minor scale. Let's see, EDM 2. So they're saying, okay, E flat, and these particular chords are chords you'll hear. All right, so what I am going to do is I'm actually just going to pick a scale. And I generally don't pick anything too exciting. That's the amazing thing with easy keys, right? You can see all this here, like your choices, and then it tells you like what the style is, like what's the vibe of that scale. Is it dark? Is it dreary? Is it fun? Is it happy? So that's pretty cool, because every chord, I mean, it evokes a feeling in you, right? So it's nice that they put that there for people who maybe aren't really sure about what the feeling of certain chords are yet, because they're new and they're learning. And so I'm going to go for E flat major scale. This is like the big scale everybody used last year in a lot of the hit songs. So let's go for this. And so basically I just play around and say, okay, what sounds good? End with that. Pull that one down. It's too high. All right. So I find something I like and I say, okay, that's cool. So then I'm going to drag it into Maschine. So you can just drag this little MIDI. You know what? They updated Scalar. I actually didn't point this out to them. You used to be able to drag this right into Maschine. For some reason, they updated Scalar, and you can't do that anymore. So the way to get around that is it's really easy. Just drag the MIDI to your desktop. It's on your desktop. Then you just drag it back into your project. So it's a little annoying. It's like one extra step, but it's not the end of the world. So now I have it in Scalar, but I'm going to pull it actually into another instrument. So I'm going to keep Scalar open because I want to remember like what these chords are that I picked on there. And I'm going to use these as my pads. I don't need to do this now, but I'll just do it. So I would take these out of here and I'll put them into where I'm calling it my pads. And to drop these back a little. And then I'll just extend them all. Actually, I'll probably do this for 4 bars. That's too short. So I'm just going to pick out a placeholder now so that you can hear them. Let's just open up something in Omnisphere. All of my stuff, like all the different sample libraries I do, have stored on an external hard drive. So sometimes when I first open Maschine and I pick my first one, it does take a while for my hard drive just to fire up. And just so you know, it's not an SSD drive. It's a 7200 RPM, I think, drive. So it takes just a little bit of time. Weird. Oh, there it is. I just had the attributes clicked off. I've never done that before, so I didn't know what that looked like. Interesting. Let's just go into here and pick something. Alright, let's stick with that. And then I like to label this so I remember what the chords were that I picked out. Right? That's what we picked out. E flat major scale. Yep. Alright, so this one is going to be easy keys. Now, if you guys haven't used easy keys ever before, it's really cool. When I first heard about it, my mind was blown. Absolutely blown. I was like, damn, am I the only one to know about this like program? Is anybody else using this in the beatmaking community? And that is actually how I found MG the Future. The first time I found his channel, I was like, damn, all right, somebody is using it. I'm not the only one. Yeah, because I thought I had found gold. And I was like, wow, that's like awesome. Somebody else made the same realization. So down here, you can just want to set your scale. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the chords that I had picked out and I'm going to put them in here. So we had an E flat and then we had a G minor And then we had a, I can't remember, C minor maybe, and then an F. What do we have? G minor, F minor, and then a C minor. F minor, and then a C minor. F minor, C minor. All right, let's take a listen. All right, so those are the chords that I have. And this is the fun part. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all these chords. I'm actually going to just merge them, because that's fine. And I'm going to go and I'm going to take a look at some of my MIDI packs that I have and like try to create a vibe out of this. Like, I don't play piano. So, you know, is there something here that I can add to, you know, to it and give it something funky? So, let's see, Modern Pop just came out. Let's see what's in here. I have 90 BPM here, but I'm willing to go up a little more. Curious what the options are. See what this next one is. Might keep one of those, but I just want to show you like really where you can take this. So there's some neo soul here. I didn't pick out neo soul chords, but just to give you an idea. Some of the chords don't always sound right, so sometimes you just sort of have to play around with that once you actually choose that MIDI. I mean, that's crazy. I can't play keys, and I certainly can't play that. So you can see there's all different types to choose from, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go back to Modern Pop. I'm going to pick something from there. There's a lot going on in that one. I'm thinking about it, but just not sure. I'm going to try this one. All right. So we got that now. And this, let's see, Easy Keys has had some issues too with dragging and dropping, but this actually works, which is way cool. And I'm probably not going to use Easy Keys again, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just take this instrument out of here. I'll rename this keys actually now, and I'll put in Keyscape. Pick someone out for Keyscape. Look, Keyscape. I will pick a keyscape sound out. Let's go with that piano, and let's see what we have now. I'll turn this on. So I would have never been able to play the keys like that. Let's see. And if you want to, you can add some more swing to it. But you'll see, once we actually change the sound of these keys a little bit, I think we got what we're looking for. So right now I'm like not even doing any sound choice, right? I just like really just threw things together, picked something out. So let's see if we want to create a lead now over that. And I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to get these keys sort of the way I want them, because I think it'll annoy me if I don't have them that way. So let's hop into Keyscape here. And you don't have to use, I mean, you could use any instrument on this, right? I mean, we can totally change this to something else if we're like, you know what? Like maybe it's not the keys that somebody should be playing. Like maybe it's a guitar or something. Let's see what happens. Let's say like, I don't know. Let's go for like a guitar sound. Let's take away Keyscape. And I mean, I feel like you're probably going to get the most out of Keyscape for that sound. But let's see. What if we go into, let's open something else. Let's see if we can find like a guitar or something. Guitar. Totally different feel. Actually, how about if we double this and we put this, call that, what was that? That was a xylophone. Xylo lead. Well, wasn't like a lead. We didn't get to our lead yet. Let's put the keys behind it. Let's take this off. See what it sounds like if we put some keys behind it. Let's go with something here. Now I'm doing this video in like what, 20-30 minutes. I mean, this is much longer process obviously when I'm sitting there doing my sound choices. So then we figure out our lead, in which case, where would we like to go for that? So many choices, which is, again, you know, sometimes you like got too many choices. It's not always a good thing. It's not always a good thing. Throw another omnisphere on here. It's funny, like, all right, let's see. And this is when I would actually turn to using Maschine now to figure out what I can play. As you all know, I mean, finding the right lead sound can take forever. Especially in Omnisphere, there's so many choices, right? So this is part of, I mean, you have to be decisive, but you also have to spend time finding the right sounds. I mean, it does. It just takes time. You don't want to like keep going back and changing sounds over and over and over again. There's like a happy medium. But you also, you know, this is what makes your song. So you need to spend some time on it. I don't know why that didn't load. Let's go in here again. You know what? Let me just find a flute. When in doubt, just find a flute. See? Just find a flute. That's always, just go for a flute. When in doubt, find a flute. So what I would do here is I'd really spend some time basically coming up with maybe 2 different leads and play around with that. And when I say lead, I use lead to mean the main prominent melodic instrument, you know, that's really going to be the catchy part of the song. That's what lead means to me. So I'll just like throw something down quick, and I don't know if it'll stick or what it'll sound like, but let's do it. I can't tell you how many times I do that. I forget to change my length all the time. Happens all the time. You'd think I'd finally remember? No. I don't have it on fixed philosophy. Sort of like to play with this kind of stuff. And then I actually like this, so I'd probably repeat it. But the last one that hits here, I want something different. Let's see. Would help if I copied the whole thing. So let's listen again. works for me now. Again, this is just me building, wanting to be creative, like wanting to have the joy in making music to get where I'm going fast, and then going back and maybe looking at what some of the instruments are, taking this lead and putting something behind the lead, or going and doing like a little bit of a counter melody. But this is me like wanted to like get somewhere so that I can feel like, all right, cool, I got something. So y'all know I'm a big proponent, although I've been doing some of my own beats, big proponent of the Maschine drum kits that are in here, and then the patterns that are pre-set up, right? It's like I don't know, it's a no-brainer to me. It's like why do the struggle when it's there for you? And yeah, I've been creating more and more of my own beat pattern, my own drum patterns, but it's also like you can take this and you can make it into your own. And in so many of my songs, I actually do that. And I don't know, I think it sounds good. I'm in the wrong zone. Actually, I'm going to go to the Opaline riff, I think. Because there's some cool stuff in there. When you load this and you listen to it, you get double. So it gets a little crazy. So you're going to want to take all of these off. I'm probably not going to want that. Let's see what those coins are. So let's see. That either. That does not work. All right, let's see what we got here. Sometimes this takes a while. Like these, but I'd work with this definitely a little bit. I'd probably change out some drums, which would take some time, and maybe just go with some different patterns. So yeah, I don't know, doing that right now seems like it's take a while, and I think we're probably at least already 30 minutes into this video. But the other thing is while I'm working through this, I'm thinking of like what is the arrangement going to sound like, because that's giving me an idea like what the vibe of the song's going to sound like, and then where maybe my drum choice is going to go, and maybe some of my sound choices. So the way I do that is I think, how am I going to start this? Would I start with just pads and then build in? can hear how you like I changed that snare out. That changed it. I don't know if that's like the right one. This stuff takes time. It takes time. So anybody you see that like makes that beat so quickly, there's a lot of finesse that goes into then making that beat to what it becomes. So I just want to put that out here. But this is my process. This really is my process. And then, you know, next, obviously we don't have a bass. So we want to bring a bass in there. Generally for my bass, pretty straightforward with that. So let's say for the bass, just throw in trillion, pick out a sound. And let's see. Let's see if I could take something from my keys. No. So probably just go into here. And this is a starting place, and maybe after I put this in, let's see. So sometimes I might actually use some of these notes. Let's see. See what this sounds like. Make that one a little shorter. Maybe this isn't even the right bass sound, right? Maybe this is not what I want. Maybe I need to pull it down another octave. I would argue and say this is probably not the bass that I want. And that's another thing, finding the right bass. This is really low. And maybe I decide, well, that's way too low. Let me pull it up again with that particular bass. The time just trying to work on my levels as I go through this. This is pretty quick for me. I mean, like when I at this point, like I haven't gotten to everything I need to do. So with that, thank you for tuning in and watching this today. I really appreciate it. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button now, and I will see you again soon.